The Dark Knight
Yeah.
was such a that movie had such character to it, and
that was a trilogy of movies that was not pretending to be anything else.
Yes, it was
And they
like
were good.
a DC Batman movie, and they were great. But then they saw Marvel make $1 billion.
They went, oh, crossovers can be profitable.
Yes,
Let's do it.
Everything from now on is Marvel, and that's the thing. Nowadays in Hollywood, movies aren't made because somebody has a great creative idea, or some comic book writer is like, yo, this is the best-selling Flash alternate universe story that we have, and the writers all love it, and the comic book people love it, and we think it's a work of art. They don't go, oh, wow, a work of art? Let's make that movie. They say, like, okay, well, how's it going to make $1 billion?
Yeah, they have, and it's like,
I mean,
there's
that's always been true, though, right? Like,
there is no patience for any of it. That's the thing, is like, could DC have pulled off an Infinity War level event movie?
Sure.
Absolutely. Like, it wouldn't have even been hard. They just had to not make it their second movie, like, already setting it up. It's like,
they didn't want to take the 15 years that Marvel took to do it.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
And refine their humor, refine their how they approach the movies, how they tie them together.
Yep. And it's
the
like
actors they got, you know.
Yeah, the actors they got were generally fine, I think.
Yeah.
Like, at least earlier on, the actors, I think, were generally better. But yeah, no, they did. The casting was fine. There were no major problems with it as far as I'm concerned. But like, okay, maybe Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg was fucking just why. But
yeah,
everybody else was good.
But I mean, you that's the thing. There is such a huge difference between making $100 million and making $1 billion on a movie. And if it can knock off a franchise or start off a franchise, or if somehow the Justice League actually really caught on, and it kept going, DC might be set for the next 20 years on residuals and those movies alone.
If Marvel made nothing but garbage, from this point
action
forward,
figures, whatever.
If they made nothing but garbage from this point forward, they could probably make it 5 full-ass years before it became straight up not automatically profitable to make a movie.
Yes, everybody, not everybody, but a good enough portion of the populace will go see a Marvel movie if it comes out.
I mean, I'm part of that absolutely at this point. Where it's like, there are only a few movies of theirs that I don't like. Like, are there some that I don't love? Sure, but there's like 2.5 that I just do not like at all. And frankly, 21 out of 23 is a pretty fucking good score.
That ain't
Which
bad.
ones do you not even like at all? I'm curious.
I don't like Thor: The Dark World.
All right.
Even a little. It's not good.
I thought that was kind of meh.
I don't. I'm at odds with both the Hulk and the first Thor. I think they're both. I think.
But Ed
Hulk
Norton evolves into Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, I think Hulk is very sloppy.
It also just doesn't feel like it fits with the other movies
Yeah, well,
in
they
any
wanted
way,
to-
shape, or form,
they
which is
clearly
like a little
wanted-
harder to blame them for, yes.
They clearly wanted a monster movie, but didn't commit to it enough. Is the
But
problem?
he's also a hero, you guys.
Yeah. And then the first Thor movie was just kind of boring, I thought.
I think that's one of the ones where
Yes.
they really missed the mark.
It's one where it's like
He also gets better at acting, I'd argue, right? Like,
Well,
he
it's-
doesn't really know how to do much more than pose in the first movie. No offense.
Well, I think part of it is like Kenneth Branagh is a fantastic director, but this was not the proper use of him. I would love to see him return as an actor in the franchise if he was ever open to it, because he is also a really good actor. He has done like a bajillion trillion things. He's more of a Shakespearean actor, and I think that's what he was aiming for as a director as well, was like a Shakespearean space story.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. Like, they were trying a
come
whole bunch of
across
different
well.
things, and before they figured out their more unified kind of tone.
Yep. And I mean, so another element of
What is
this
going on out
is
there?
also
Do you see that?
there's the explosions happening.
What is that?
I don't know, man.
Are they
Explosions.
climbing? Oh, it stopped.
Were those rockets you fired off into the distance
Maybe.
that finally hit their mark or something?
Maybe. Also, the camera won't move. There we go.
Come on, little guy. Camera in.
There we
See,
go.
another problem with like the modern nature of these types of movies is that nobody really wants to take a chance on an unknown. And I'm not even talking about like a lesser known superhero.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a new superhero.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
somebody who is concepted and designed and is on their first comic arc, and people are like, "Oh man, this character is so refreshing and unique, and what an interesting story
what
they're
an
telling."
interesting new look.
Well,
yeah,
the problem
they're
too
like, "No,
is-
fuck you, Superman."
The problem, too, is a lot of times they try to weave those characters into the history of
Known
those comic
franchises.
series, and it's like, don't do that. Just start from scratch. It's okay.
No, they're afraid because what if it doesn't make $1 billion?
There was a big, ultra grimdark, like depressing level DC storyline that I only remember a little bit about at this point that like focused a lot on like Blue Beetle and things, but they introduced
Blue Beetle. He's such a fun character.
well, normally, yeah.
Well, normally, yes.
But they basically built a storyline entirely around this newly created character who was added and essentially was a hero from like the 50s. Like he was created in a way where he was presented as if he'd been
Reverse.
part of the DC comic universe since the 1950s or something. Like it was very confusing how it was handled, and he's I think presented as like a role model for some of the other DC
Oh, okay. So
heroes.
he's like
He's the Mary Sue that they just introduced.
or the original hero that all the other heroes kind of looked up to, even though he wasn't like that big
That
of a
powerful.
deal.
Yeah.
He's not Superman, but he sure did real nice things for the populace.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I can kind of buy
And
that.
it's like, all right, but it's also like he was not a character that stuck around very long. As far as I remember, he was just kind of added, and then it was kind of over, and it was like, oh,
Robot.
that was a lot. That was a lot to throw in there for a guy that you didn't even really do much with.
I mean, that happens sometimes. That's just comic books for you, I'd argue.
yeah.
And I mean, I think at this point, Marvel being ahead of the curve because they already did the stuff, like they already laid the foundation work, can now be like, all right, you guys, here's a Black Widow specific movie, even though she wasn't like a major, we didn't have a series of like 3 Black Widow movies, or like she wasn't as major as Iron Man
Yeah,
per
she didn't
se.
really get huge arcs to
and
herself.
like what's his name?
Hawkeye?
No, the other one that's coming out that nobody knows about, who's the name
Shang-Chi?
Yes, Shang-Chi. Obviously people know about Shang-Chi, but like it's not as popular a character as Iron Man.
Yeah.
But now-
Ironically, with well, that's the thing. Iron Man wasn't that popular until
Like
the movie happened. Like he was a
Yes,
he was
yeah.
fairly like higher level. Like he showed up for a lot of stuff in Marvel Comics, but he was like kind of a B-lister for the most part.
he was no Captain America.
Yeah, and like the big comparison was like, okay, he had a TV show in the '90s and it didn't do well. Like it aired the year before Spider-Man aired.
Yes.
Like-
I think they're finally getting to the point where Marvel is confident enough in trying new stuff.
Yeah, there's a Moon Knight show that's happening. There's a Miss Marvel show that's happening. There's
Yes. But like,
She-Hulk.
I would not be surprised if for the next 5 to 10 years, DC just keeps hammering Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
They don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. They can't do a lot with Superman. I think Henry Cavill's out.
Sure. But
And-
but I mean, they won't even put forward a small budget for a small budgeted DC movie. Like if they,
I think Shazam was the only one they've done with like a small budget.
yeah, and actually, I really enjoyed the movie Shazam.
I need to actually see it. It looked really charming. Like
It is. It's like a kids movie to a degree. There's definitely elements of it there, but like it's still a great movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But like I don't think that they would ever endeavor to put forward a movie with a short budget and a less giant scope, because like every time DC has like done a movie in response to a Marvel movie, they try to top it in terms of stakes. They're
Yeah.
like, you know, what was it? Batman versus Superman.
Mhm.
That was like, how much shit can we explode? How much CG can we shove in there, like
Jesus
Transformers,
Christ.
just to make it like? So some critic will say like, amazing special effects, like puts Avengers Infinity War to shame.
Well, that's where you get
or-
to, like, Suicide Squad was just them going, hey, Guardians of the Galaxy is really popular. It did really well. What if we did that?
What if
with-
we did a Misfits?
What's the closest property we have to that?
Mhm.
And that's what they did. They just grabbed the closest thing they had, which turned out to be Suicide Squad.
Yep.
And then they did such a bad job with it.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just unfortunate.
So I don't know. I don't really have a good like, how do you solve this problem sort of statement.
How do you solve a problem like
Making
The
$1 billion
state of DC.
every time you put out a movie.
Yeah.
I
That's the
mean,
thing
you need studio execs that don't give as much of a shit of, oh, you have to make $1,000.
Yeah.
You just need them to be like, okay, as long as we make a profit, it's fine.
The
Like,
wildest
Yep.
thing to me is like
I
how
don't understand why
the
we have this
MCU
attitude.
really started too, because they thought for sure that the Hulk was going to be the big one, and they
Yes.
were like, let's put Iron Man in there too, just
Well,
why
because
the
Hulk
hell not?
was one of the most popular and long and like most multiple
Yeah.
arc
Everybody knew the
superheroes
Hulk.
in comic books.
Yep. Everybody knew the Hulk. He was
Been
super
52
popular all the
versions
time.
and 20 different storylines
Yep.
and stuff. Yeah.
Literally, when they pitched Iron Man and the Hulk together, and like this is like Kevin Feige and them were like, look, I think they straight up signed off with the bank that
Are you just searching for the final fucking guy?
I think it's
standing
probably
around
like
level?
a mech somewhere.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like the watch him like be up top here. They signed off on a deal that was basically like they took out a loan where the collateral on the loan, and they wouldn't, they would need their movie to make money to cover this, but if they didn't, they were going to be giving up the rights to basically everything. Like, Marvel was pretty much putting all of its
Yeah.
remaining eggs in that basket.
Gamble on all the chips.
That we'll have to sell the IP of Iron Man and Hulk to the highest bidder.
I mean,
kind
they
of
already
deal.
had Hulk. Hulk was co-owned by
Oh
Universal
yeah,
at that point.
that's right.
Like,
And my favorite part is that the previous Hulk movie, the Universal one, they basically semi-recap it with Ed Norton and all
Yeah.
those other characters in the intro. To
Yep.
be like, yeah, it's like not the prequel to this movie, but it is the prequel to this movie. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
so
It's
awkward.
so weird.
And like, oh yeah, I just got the one.
Blink.
But yeah, like, I have to imagine it's like, man, good thing they opened with Iron Man and then went with the Hulk, because if they put all their eggs in that basket
On the Hulk,
and then the Hulk
ooh,
went
woof.
first, and like, holy shit,
And bombed the way it did.
it
yeah.
would have been absolutely tragic.
But I mean, if I had to give advice to like some DC exec,
Yeah,
it's counter to like what makes money and counter to what a marketing person would say and everything. But just as
Sure.
a nerd fan,
yeah,
I want to see DC execute a good small story. I don't want the fucking world to be ended. I don't want destruction of the universe to be the stakes. I just want maybe some small town is being terrorized by this person who's like an almost superhero.
yeah.
Like they have a cool ability, but it's not earth-shattering. You know what I mean? Like you can
You blow my fucking thing.
It did indeed blow up your robot.
My robots, no.
Oh, you just
Well,
you
that
just
thing
failed the
only got
hero.
away from me. Yeah, I don't care about the hero
That's
one.
fine. But yeah, execute a small story. Get back to the work of storytelling instead of spectacle,
Yeah.
and really focus on a new property, or even do some really simple shit. Like if they have to use an old property, then fine, reboot Batman, but don't make it so insane as it is. You can tell really good stories, like, I said this earlier, but The Dark Knight.
Well,
That
like-
isn't exactly the most insane of Batman plots,
But it's good.
but it's good.
What they need to do is write a movie that's designed to be a movie, not a launching pad for 80 million
Sure.
things. Like, make a movie that is designed to be a story. And then, if it's successful, then you can expand on those characters.
Yep, and instead of losing $500 million because you had to pay an entire country's worth of 3D animators to make your movie,
Like,
if it's not great, maybe you lose $50 million.
Not to mention,
in the world of movies, that's nothing.
Is there anything that people make fun of more when watching a movie that turns out bad than a sequel hook?
Right, yeah.
Like, if a movie sucks, nothing makes you, like, spit water out your nose more than going, oh my god, they thought they were going to make a second Super Mario Brothers movie? Are they out of their fucking minds?
Is Up and Behind Us... Have we gone?
Yeah, we just went that way.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just making sure this wasn't another section I missed.
I was checking the other path along this thing. I don't know where the... I don't know where the other fucking enemy is. This is going to be such a long episode.
28.
This might be 2 episodes just because of how long this is taking.
Yeah.
You've just been, like, wandering around being like, where the fuck?
And been going back checkpoint by checkpoint looking around.
Yeah.
And I honestly... don't know where this person is anymore. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But the thing about a single movie that is meant to be like in and out and done, and is not a hook for a crossover or a 3-part series of movies, is that it's hard to make $1 billion with one movie with no sequel hook.
Well,
and that's all everybody wants to do. It's not, they don't want to make money. They just want to make $1 billion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like there's no patience.
Nobody shoots for making enough money to make another movie.
And of course, the irony being, they made $1 billion with a movie that had like the world's tiniest budget that they had to bust ass to make happen in the first place with the fucking Joker. Like, that one made $1 billion damn dollars. I think.
Oh, the like artsy one?
Yeah, the Joaquin Phoenix one.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
I don't think it is the highest. No, I think it might have become the highest grossing DC film ever.
Because of the gross. The comparison of how much they spent on it to how much they made on it.
Well, the return on investment by far is the biggest, but I think even just the total...
just straight up money made by ticket sales?
I think so. Huh. I would double check, but like I think it is literally the most, the highest grossing DC property film. It would be under, if the only thing it'd be under would be like The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises or something. I don't think Aquaman, I think it passed Aquaman. But yeah, and it's like, if you make a story, and you make a story that's interesting and not just designed to sell fucking action figures, you can make $1 billion off of, like, no budget.
Yeah.
It is doable.
Mm-hmm.
Are those not the ones that you need to kill?
No, we want the gray ones. These are Robotnik's robots.
And there has been a bit of a trend lately of, like, some newer directors coming in to try to direct stuff, and
it's just you got to get the studio execs to give them money.
Yes, but like if an indie film director makes $50 million on a movie that cost $1 million to make, they grab that person and then say, "Here's $400 million. Turn this into $1 billion."
See, that's the problem, because that's where you wind up with situations like Trevorrow. Colin Trevorrow, I think?
Yeah.
The director of Chronicle, who then became the notoriously awful director of Fantastic.
Yeah.
Who had, like, what seemed to have been some kind of, like, breakdown. Like, he was not in a good place.
Yep. Given somebody who
Oh, sorry, Colin Trevorrow. Did I say Connor? I think it's like Connor.
I don't know. Somebody who caught lightning in a bottle and made a great little story.
Yep.
They suddenly are like, you're the one who can catch lightning in a bottle consistently.
They were so
convinced. If we give you $200 million instead of $1 million, you'll turn $200 million into $2 billion.
Right? Like,
instead of 1 into 50.
The chain of events literally went, wow, Chronicle was made for basically nothing and made a lot of money. You should direct the next Fantastic Four movie. And then someone else went, I'll do you one better. You should direct a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
wait, what?
It's like, whoa, that is way too big. Way too big to cut someone's teeth in the real world of Hollywood. Like, holy shit.
A massive jump in responsibility.
Is that Gray Robot not the right robot?
No, that's the ride-on robot.
This is the riding robot.
I see. It's bouncy robot. Now I understand.
There's rings over there. Did I not go over here yet? Well, I was trying to jump out. That didn't work. But yeah, like, it's...
Fuck.
Oh, my God. I don't know. It's so... wild the decisions that get made sometimes. Where it's like, I think part of the problem was in the 2010s. At some point, we decided that Hollywood needed an immediate influx of indie darlings. And it was like,
it's better than it just being the same directors all the time.
I agree,
but
like that was the problem. Was they were so like, look, the old guard's got to be phased out. We need new blood. Find new people, and it was like, okay. And they went on the hunt, as opposed to like, not like you necessarily have to let cream rise to the top, but it's like maybe let people make more than one movie before handing them the keys to the Star Wars wagon. He didn't wind up making it because of his breakdowns on the set of Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. But like, it's like, holy shit, it's a lot. I don't know.
I just feel like there's like that intermediate stage is what should be happening. They should be like, oh, they made a super great movie, smaller movie. Let's have them make a medium-sized movie now.
I totally agree, Sarah.
And then like we're like, okay, that went pretty well. Let's have them make a couple medium-sized movies, get a feel for it, maybe, and like then we'll like graduate them to like super big movies.
Shout out to Dane DeHaan, arguably the star of Chronicle, who wound up being awful in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So
dang,
he was what's his name? Green Goblin.
Oh, yeah. I forget the actual character's name. What's his name's son?
Yes. Why am I... Oz... Oh, my God. Yeah.
Osmond?
He's the heir to Oz... He's the heir to Oscorp.
Yeah, Harry Osmond.
Not Osmond. It's... Why are we all...
Osborn. Harry Osborn.
Thank you. I'm like,
Thank
what the
you,
fuck
Sarah.
is it? Why are we all blanking
well,
all at once?
Well, that's why when you... I was like, Harry Oz... That doesn't sound right.
That's why I was like, was it... Oswald? Why am I forgetting this?
Is that a door?
Well,
please have a robot back here.
I bet there's another door like this in one of the other
and one of the other jump down and go back sort of thing. Oh, God, I hope not.
Jesus
Christ. It's been, where is this last enemy? Let me just murder him.
Have you ridden the thing all the way?
The rails.
What thing?
The rail at the bottom.
The one below there? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm relatively sure at this point that it's going to be behind another door.
That's the only place we've seen it's been unique.
Oh,
so
whoa!
Oh, that's
okay.
Okay.
Jesus.
No, why not okay?
But yeah, Sarah, to your point, if a director can turn $1 million into $5 million or to $10 million, and they make a ton of money for a studio with a small investment, don't immediately give them $200 million.
Yeah.
Give them $10 million.
Yeah, $20 million.
And see if they can turn 20 into 200 or something.
Right?
I'm trying to imagine.
Like, give them some practice. Let them sort of get up to that level, too.
If the Blair Witch Project came out, like, today, the director of that would be handed the keys to every single franchise under the sun.
Oh,
right
yes.
Now. Like, wow, you know how to turn $0 into $1 billion.
Yeah, here's $20,000. Make us $1 billion.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
So, like, sometimes they just had, like, that one concept, and it ended up being what everybody wanted to watch. Like, that doesn't...
It's also how we wound up with endless Paranormal Activity movies, because the first one made a stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
And
like
it was popular, and everyone was like, oh, we got to make that.
Yeah, I want to say the budget was measured in thousands, not millions.
Yes, it was not $1 million movie.
I'm just, like, so confused as to where you can even go.
Yup. You and me both.
Also, Joker did end up becoming the most profitable DC.
Huh? What?
Okay.
Who?
So you just have
that.
to jump with it, I guess.
I don't know.
Joker did end up becoming the most profitable DC. So I think some of these rings are coming back because you died.
Because he died, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I keep thinking oh, new area, but no.
Yeah, no.
No, none of this is new area.
So this is the key door.
Blah, blah.
Yes, the last gun soldier's in there.
You're fucking hysterical.
I mean, yeah, do you just need to find all 6 keys?
5 keys. I mean, that would get me in there, but I know for a fact that they do not hide mission targets inside of the locked doors.
Maybe go back behind that. Is there another secret little area?
There's that.
No.
It's Just like the Bigfoot from Prison Island. What is he referring to here? Was there a mech here before, and the game just doesn't know to not load that?
You just boomed something.
Dead? I mean, that was just an egg pawn. That was one of his enemies. But, like, so Bigfoot was a boss fight in Sonic. Also, let me make sure real quick. Shoot down the airship. Okay, destroying his robots don't mean anything. That's good.
Okay, it's only shoot. And we already failed his mission anyway.
Yeah, the airship's gone. But yeah, so Bigfoot was a boss fight on Prison Island in Sonic Adventure 2, and the gun mechs. Oh.
Fucking ass!
Wow.
I missed one of those too in one of my runs.
Yep.
One of the little floating robot guys.
Yep, they blend
We
in really well.
definitely went by here a couple times too.
Yeah, several.
And it's Robotnik's fucking video droid that kept making me think like, oh no, that's just Robotnik flying by. Got an E.
I guess let's come back next
Jesus.
time and finish off this run.
God, please.
See ya.